Is anybody else besides me having carnival withdrawal, or is it just me? Welcome to Chasing Purpose, heard right here on the Bridge 99 FM. It is Wednesday and on Irie Jam Radio. My name is Syntyche, and boy, what a time we had this past Sunday. Oh my goodness, we had an awesome time. I'm out of breath just thinking about it. We had a good time on the road. Guys, if you're ever... Well, Carnival's never going to miss me again, that's for sure. But please, if you listen to me in the New York tri-state area, wherever the road is a vibe, get there next year. We had an awesome time. I do want to, over the weekend, we celebrated my big brother, DJ Roy, and sis, me DJ Roy, my big brother, Louis Grant, and his queen and my bestie, Billy Ann Grant, their 25th wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to them again. So much happened this weekend, right? I also partied with the Ebony Mag crew, so shout out to them. A lot happened this weekend. I know it's Wednesday, but this is my time back on the air. So how are we all doing? What's been happening? What's happened for you over the weekend? It was an amazing weekend. It was for me. And I'm happy to be with you and to share some positive vibes and give you just that motivation to get you through the week. Again, this is Chasing Purpose, and we are guarded by our pillars: nurturing faith, setting intentions, pursuing aspirations, all while we are living boldly. I'm going to say that again. Chasing Purpose. We're guided by these pillars, and these pillars would have helped me along my way, along my journey of chasing my purpose, and it's nurturing faith. How are you nurturing your faith? What are you doing? Are you pouring into yourself spiritually, right? Are you setting intentions? If whatever it is that you're trying to do in this life, whatever that dream is, whatever that sets your soul on fire, are you being intentional about following that up? Pursuing that aspiration, that very thing we're talking about. When you're setting that intention, are you pursuing that aspiration? Are you chasing it down? Are you actively going for it? Are you just letting the wheels spin in your head? Now, living boldly. Are you taking up space? Are you speaking out on what is important to you? Right? Today we're talking about picking back up the conversation from last week with Eden Bridgman Sklenar, the CEO of Ebony. We talk about leading a legacy of purpose and empowering future generations through positive action. We're going to be speaking about that again today with two lovely guests, Patrick Goodall, who is a tea sommelier, which I just learned that's a thing. First time today, as well as Chesand Gregory out of Canada, I believe she is, right? And we're going to be speaking to the both of them about their legacy of purpose and how they're empowering the future and the impact that they're leaving, right? So my question to you is this: do you know that you are leaving a mark on this world? Do you know that when you transition, when you leave this earth, that you would have left a mark? And the mark that you are leaving, would you be proud of it? Is it negative or is it positive? Because we always talk about the positivity here, right? But we never talk about negative. With good, there's bad. With light, there's dark. With positive, there's negative. So are we leading a legacy, because we're right now leading, right? We're supposed to be the leaders of our lives. Are we leading a legacy of positivity? Take a step back. Do some introspection. What's the legacy that you are leaving? What's the legacy that you're leading right now? Last week we had a conversation, as we said, with the CEO and owner of Ebony. And she dropped a lot of gems. And let me tell you guys something. If you're not following us on Chasing Purpose or on our YouTube, please do so. All of our shows are there. And also at the Bridge 99 FM. Follow us at the Bridge 99 FM. All one word, Play Store, Android Play Store, and the Apple Store, right? And you can find the past shows there. Please check out last week's show. It was a great one. All our shows are. And we're talking about leaving a mark and what that looks like. Right? What does that mark look like that you're leaving on the world? Leading a legacy of purpose is not just about what you achieve in life. It's also about what you leave behind. It's about creating a positive impact that will continue to influence and inspire future generations long after you're gone. Every one of us has the ability to create a legacy that will endure regardless of our age, background, or circumstances, whether it's through our work, our words, or our actions. We can all make a difference in the world and leave behind a meaningful legacy. Now, when we talk about this word legacy, it sounds really big, right? Like, you think Martin Luther King left a legacy. You think Marcus Garvey left a legacy. You think, Nanny of the Maroons left a legacy. But you, whoever's listening to the sound of my voice, you too are leaving a legacy. You too are leaving a legacy. My father left the shores of Jamaica many years ago for that American dream, and both of my parents. And I want to tell you, I am living in his legacy. The legacy that he was leading in, that they were leading in, I am currently living in that. Let me explain to you what I mean. My father is a giver at heart, kind-hearted person. I'm saying if it's snowing in our neighborhood, everybody's getting their driveway shoveled. If food is needed, he's bringing food. If there's just everything you can think of. If a little old lady needs to be walked across the street, my father's pulling the car over, he's getting out, he's leading her across the street. Within my community, my father is a big deal. He's a community leader. And whenever I am in my community, I want for nothing because of the legacy of which my father has left behind. Once I say my father is Steve Dawkins, I get everything. I mean, look. We all want that, and I'm big up to my dad for that. But what is it that we are doing so that our children can live in that same legacy? And it doesn't matter how small it is. If it is that you wake up in the morning, you go into your community, you say good morning to the neighbors, and you are always positive. You're always leading with a smile. If you're helping out at the local shop, if you're washing the cars in the neighborhood, whatever it is that you're doing, nothing is too small. At no point could my father didn't even think that he is left a legacy, but he did, and he still is living in that legacy. And my sisters and my brother, we're actually reaping what he sowed. So don't think that, all right, you're just going through this life. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, you're planting seeds for the generations to come. You are planting seeds for the generations to come. So what does that look like? The generations to come, your generations, your lineage, what are they walking into? What are they walking into? We're going to jump to a quick commercial break. I'm going to leave you with that question. When I come back, more right here on Chasing Purpose. There is a place for people for all of us, really, for all of us that are leading that, I'm getting tongue twisted, leading the legacy, but also the legacy that we're going to be leaving behind is what we're talking about. Both of them, leading and leaving. Leading a legacy of purpose requires action, not just words. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, and pursuing your passions. It means making the most of every opportunity, using your resources to create a positive impact. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an educator, and a parent, or just someone who wants to make a difference, you can lead a legacy of purpose by doing what you love, using your skills, talents, and passions to create a positive impact in the world. And this is a great segue into our segment, which is Syntyche. And you guys know that Syntyche is where we feature things that Syn, which is me, love, and not just things that I love, but things that you are also going to get and love as well, right? So my producer does an amazing job in sourcing all of these things, and Lord knows when I find them is trouble, because this is where my budgeting skills, it's where I kind of get loose and I lose it all. Anyhow, I want to welcome to Syntyche and to Chasing Purpose none other than Patrick Goodall. And by the way, guys, I just learned not even 15-20 minutes ago that there is such thing as a tea sommelier, right? So Patrick Goodall, welcome to Chasing Purpose.
Thank you so much for having me, Syn.
How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
You are fabulous. Patrick Goodall, talk to me. Yes. Tell me what a sommelier is for those who do not know.
That's just a fancy word for blender.
It's a beautiful word. I just knew sommelier in the wine world, but I did not know that teas have sommeliers also.
Yes.
So Patrick is Jamaica's tea sommelier.
Yes.
So when you look up Jamaica's tea sommelier, you're going to see Patrick's beautiful face there.
Yes.
Right? All right. Little tea. One thing about we Caribbean people, we love tea.
We love tea. We love
cures,
tea bad.
Oh, God. Tea cure everything. Every ailment, a cup of tea.
Yes.
So tell us about Little Tea. How did it start? As we talk about leading a legacy of purpose and your creativity. Talk to us about Little Teas.
So I never set out to even be an entrepreneur or even have a tea company. I just kind of happened upon it, and it's something that I was always so passionate about. And I grew up, every Jamaican child, we grew up drinking what we would classify as tea. Well, it's really just herbs and roots and all the botanicals that we have locally, but tea is actually from the tea plant Camellia sinensis, so we can get into that a whole other time. But we have that.
Camellia sinensis is what?
So Camellia sinensis is the scientific name for tea.
Oh.
So all teas come from that one plant.
Okay.
But in Jamaica, we have what we call bush tea culture, and that is something that we would have inherited from the days of enslaved people in Jamaica. So we have a really vibrant bush tea culture. And what Little Tea is, it's really just a merging of the traditional orthodox teas with our local herbs, fruits, and botanicals to create something just exceptional. And I use Little Tea to really showcase and share the culture of Jamaica to the world, while at the same time providing a great tea experience for Jamaicans at home. Because as a tea drinker, as a tea lover, you really cannot find a proper cup of tea anywhere in Jamaica. Tea bags is not Jamaican tea culture. So I wanted to do something to give Jamaicans at home a premium and just an elevated tea experience.
Well, see, I didn't even know that you can have a premium tea experience. It's just recently I went to somewhere in Miami and I had high tea.
Yes.
Right? And there you have the blends of the actual teas and you're pouring the water. I'm used to just putting a tea bag in a cup.
That's horrible. We're going to change that. Because if you open that tea bag, what exactly are you drinking? Do you know? Can you see it?
It says peppermint on the box.
Does it look like peppermint you pick?
It smells like.
It smells like it? And how many bags of tea do you have to put to get that really strong cup of peppermint?
Well, see, that's a whole nother kettle or something, But okay, so I just read something about creating change and creating a positive impact, right? And using your talents to create a legacy. And that's exactly what you're talking about right now. At no point would I think, all right, we're gonna, someone of your age group is thinking about giving the community, the Jamaica, the world, a premium tea experience. So tell us what a premium tea experience should look like.
So it's really just so you have your different tea blends, you have your herbs, you have all your botanicals. So when you look at it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can almost taste or know what it should taste like, right? And what I've done is I want to bring that home to Jamaica, because I think Jamaicans, we deserve things that everyone else has access to.
Without a doubt.
Right? And that in itself, once you take that pause, that time to prepare your tea, that in itself changes your entire outlook. It changes how you go through your day. And that is something that Little Tea is really big on. I set out to do, I do marketing, advertising, brand development, public relations. In what world would someone like me be doing? Would be doing tea.
Right.
But I found a way to sort of, so I converted my mother's home in Orange into like a herb garden.
Oh, wow.
My uncle grows all my botanicals there. And what I'm doing now is creating a social impact project there to impact the lives of the young men in my community.
Creating legacy, guys. That's what
right?
this is.
And even just some of the blends, Portland Bliss, I have Jamaican breakfast, I have Galloway, I have chocolate chai, I have chai guy.
Ooh.
Chai guy.
Wait. Okay, so guys, I keep telling you, right? So Syntyche, is where we feature a brand that we love. And here today we have Little Tea with Patrick Goodall. And you know that during the Syntyche segment, you are able to gift you, the brand gifts you a gift. And as you're talking about the teas, I want you to kind of take us through and what the experience is, because when I opened the gift that she bought, I realized that these are actually loose
Loose leaf tea.
Loose leaf teas. So you weren't getting it's not a tea bag.
Nope.
You get a loose leaf tea, and what she's also giving you are the tea bags. So you're gonna make your own tea bag. So if again, guys, the bridge, we're audio visual radio, so you want to be involved, not just listening to us, but watching us. Download that app, the Bridge 99 FM. You can watch how Patrick good at our face, stay good on all these things. All right, so green tea, Mahobe.
So
Take us through.
Mahobe is actually that part where I actually grew up outside of Montego Bay, right in Iron Shore. Okay. That entire shoreline is called Mahobe. And this is one of my favorite blends. It's our top-selling green tea that we've had over the years. It's actually made with Syntyche and Dragonwell green teas. It has lemongrass, it has a light strawberry flavoring, and it has jasmine. Mm-hmm. So it's a really, really great, crisp, green tea. If you're someone who, if you don't like green tea, I tell you that you're probably burning your tea leaves or you're probably oversteeping it. So this tea, the instructions are all here. So it's 195 degrees Fahrenheit. So you should not be boiling water, and you're only going to steep it for 3 minutes. So that's it. And the good thing with loose leaf tea is that it's sustainable. You can steep your teas 1 or 2 times if you know, because again, it's not cheap tea. So you really want to get the bang for your buck. And all our packaging is all sustainable, all eco-friendly. It's actually made from paper and bamboo, and the bags are actually compostable. So you know.
Okay, so I have so many questions.
Go ahead.
Just so much is happening. I'm just, my mind is blown right now. I am speechless, because I tell you, I go to the supermarket, I pick up a box of tea, I put the tea in the cup and pour the hot water over it. That's it. But now we are getting, we love premium, we love luxury, so we're gonna get into our premium teas with Lickle Tea. All right, tell us what separates Lickle Tea from the other tea brands that are out there.
So the brands that you're probably accustomed to are giving you fannings or the dust that after you've already taken out the loose leaf tea. So companies that don't want to waste, you want to get everything out of your, out of your production. Once you take out all the whole leaves and all the botanicals and everything else, what you have, the dust and everything that's broken down at the bottom, that is actually what people then package and put in bags and sell as tea. So it's really not tea, it's just the fannings or the dust.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, and it's very cheap. But you're not getting all the antioxidants, you're not getting all those minerals and all the things that are good for you. You're not getting any of that from the tea bags. And if you want a very strong cup of tea, you find yourself having to do 2, 3, 4 times. And then those tea bags have microplastics. So you're ingesting so many things. You don't even know if bugs, twigs, stems, leaves, you don't know what you're ingesting in your body. You really don't know. You don't know.
My mind is blown today, guys. If you're seeing on the app, you're seeing how beautifully it is actually packaged in this lovely, this is reusable too, isn't it? Yes, it's reusable. So all the teas are placed in a beautiful container. So if those of us who love their kitchen to look a certain way, this can be placed easily and nicely on, as a display on your countertop. Yes. All right. Talk to us about the rich heritage of Jamaica and how it is infused into the teas.
So for example, this morning, if you're on my Instagram page at Lickle Tea, you would see me making Jamaican breakfast. Jamaican breakfast, again, breakfast teas are traditionally just different blends of black tea that they've put together and sold. English breakfast, Chinese breakfast, but Jamaican breakfast.
I always know English. I didn't know there was a Chinese breakfast.
Yeah, there's a Chinese breakfast tea. So a Jamaican breakfast, we do breakfast like nobody else in the world.
Let me tell you. Okay.
So my Jamaican breakfast has a pour and black tea that's blended with cacao nibs, cacao husks, locally of course, as well as cinnamon leaf, which is also local. So you remember like old time Jamaican chocolate tea? It tastes just like that. So, but the teas are very nostalgic, and it brings you back to that place of comfort, that place where in your grandmother's kitchen, And I also have a tea called Miss Rose, which is like lemongrass and orange peel and mint and lavender, and it's just that nice little, everything just takes you back to a place in Jamaica. And if you don't know what these places and these things are, there's a place where you can start to talk to people about it. I went to World Tea Expo 3 weeks ago in Las Vegas, and I left my sign. Well, I don't know if I lost it or whatever, and I had my Jamaican flag, and people were like, "Oh my God, Jamaica! We have Jamaican
that's
tea."
One thing. Yes, that's one thing.
Right?
Whenever that flag is flown, people gravitate.
And they wanted to know, what is Portland Bliss? What is Portland? And I started talking about Jamaica. And they're like, "Yeah, man, I really need to go there." And that's really what I want to do, to share that.
Stick a pin. We're gonna come back. You're going to take us through what Portland Bliss is, how we steep a proper tea. More when we come back right here on Chasing Purpose. And we are back. Sean and JB, are you both taking me to see Regina Belle May 6th? Yeah, Sean, I love the hitch there, no. I love that hitch there. And JB, I don't want to hear about the money. It's a date. You're taking me and Patrick, because Patrick want to go too. We're going to see Regina Belle May 6th, and that's in Hope Gardens. All right, welcome back to Chasing Purpose. We are talking about teas, guys. If you're looking on the app, you're seeing the green tea beautifully displayed right here. Patrick, take us through the process. How do you even come up with the names? Where, you know, what you say you're growing them in your hometown of Iron Shore?
No, my mother grew up in a community called Orange District in St. James.
Okay, yes.
I converted the yard where my grandma raised all 6 kids.
Oh, I love that.
Into a tea garden.
We're talking about legacy. This is legacy.
So, and all the traditional teas I get from one direct importer. Mm-hmm. He actually happened to be my business mentor.
Okay.
So I have access to his team with, you know, to do all the R&D. So I tell him exactly what is it that I want to evoke, what's the type of blends that I want, and what local ingredients I want to marry along with it. And then he will send me the different samples in terms of, you know, okay, I have this tea from Yunnan in China, I have this tea from India, I have this tea that we're growing in Sri Lanka. What do you think about this? And then, you know, I have to be careful. Mm-hmm. At one point, I had close to 50 blends.
And that sounds like a lot.
That is no way to really scale a business, because I get so passionate and so excited. Of course. So now I have 10 blends, and then
it must have been hard to narrow down.
It was so hard. Yeah. But I have a Little Tea Club, which is a subscription box. So then I can get as creative as I want every month, and those 3 blends, once they come, they never come back.
Oh, I love that.
So that kind of cools my little passion.
For those who want to join in the subscription, how do they do back? What are the price points
so it's you have a lot of overseas
yes.
So it's about $20 US, 3 teas every single month.
And okay, so my New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all my overseas, if you're listening in Atlanta, hey stays, let's get on the subscription, because it is a tea is a way for us to, we talk about pursuing intentions, setting intentions, being intentional about like our mental health, and teas help us in so many ways, not just with sickness, but just in the morning. The first thing yeah. that I know I do, and I'm sure Patrick as a tea sommelier does, is make her tea.
Yep.
It's our culture.
I have a tea station in my bedroom.
All right, now that's serious, in the bedroom. It is a culture, and I love that you have created such an amazing product such as Lickle Tea. All right, so this is not just about the feature for Lickle Tea, but it's also about giving back. This is what we do here at Syntyche. So be a part of our giveaway, 5515782, 5515782, 5515782. The studio line 676-4996, 676-4996. The question: what are the 2 favorite blends? I think Patrick already said it, that Lickle Tea has. The 2 favorite blends that Lickle Tea has. And if you don't win, don't worry. Join in the subscription at Lickle Tea. On Instagram, right?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok.
That's it.
Lickle Tea.
Lickle Tea, and Likkle for those who do not know how to spell Lickle, although I'm side-eyeing you if you don't. All right. What challenges have you had?
So right now, the biggest challenge that we have is exports and how much it costs to export. So I was so happy I took a trip. Well, I took a couple trips in the past couple of weeks. I actually found someone to manage the distribution for me in New York.
Oh, great.
So now you don't have to spend $6 to $8 to get a pack
New York,
of tea.
she's in the building. New York, she's in the building. I love that for us.
So my best friend is actually going to be moving to New York. Okay. She's actually my best friend and a business partner. She's actually going to be moving to New York in June, and we're going to be setting up a little place there that we could do pop-ups. So I'm gonna be in Brooklyn this summer doing some pop-ups in Brooklyn, and we're gonna be shipping out from New York, so you can spend like about $20 to ship instead of spending $6 to $7 to ship from Jamaica. So yeah.
All right, Patrick, you and I have off-air business to talk about. But this is Patrick Goodall from Lickle Tea Jamaica, and I love what you're doing for the culture of tea, because it is a culture.
It is.
Right? And I love that you highlighted that we have this bush tea culture.
Bush tea
we
culture.
do. I tell you, I said, growing up, I grew up in New York, and you call overseas and you hear say, "Boy, this person's sick." No man, go outside bush. You see that weed they use this and that.
Yes,
that's it.
yes.
That is it.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is taking it and making it your own, putting the nostalgia of Jamaica and of home in it and infusing that, which I absolutely love. All right. Where do you see? I know you're going to New York, so you're scaling in that way. What's next for Little Tea?
So right around the corner. So a part of what I love to do is tea education and to have people experience new and exciting things about what we have to offer. So we're going to be doing a tea flight on April 27. It's a full sensory experience. You're going to be seeing, you're going to be smelling, you're going to be tasting, and you're going to be pairing Jamaican food with teas.
Oh, I love that.
So Julie Mango is going to be hosting us. She's right around the corner from the studio,
yes.
by the Mayfair Hotel, and we're going to be doing an immersive sensory experience.
This sounds sexy, guys. Oh, it sounds like you're gonna get dressed up and put on your nice, good clothes, then we'll come out and enjoy yourself. When is this happening?
So it's April 27. We're gonna start at 5 p.m. 5 to 7:30 thereabouts. So we want people to get there early. You can buy your tickets at littletea.com. And yeah, it's just gonna be 4 courses, and it's gonna be paired with teas. You're gonna be able to have your tea wheel to tell me exactly what you're tasting, what you're seeing, all the different senses. We're gonna be doing something that I don't think I've ever done that in Jamaica before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of. But this is what this is about, right? Leading the legacy and also leaving. So I'm going to ask you, what legacy are you leading, and what do you think? Or do you think you're walking in your purpose right now?
I 100% am, and it's almost as if every single thing I've done in my career has led me to this moment.
I love that.
Right.
I love
that. I'm passionate about Jamaica. I'm passionate about Jamaican culture. I am probably one of very few of us that are still in the island. My brother lives abroad. Everybody lives abroad. And they're like, why are you here? And I'm like, why not? Like, I'm not giving up on my country. Yeah. I think that we have a beautiful history. We have a beautiful culture. And I saw a quote on a billboard that said, there's nothing that's wrong with Jamaica that cannot be fixed with what is right with Jamaica.
Yeah. No, yes, I saw that too. It's true. For someone that recently moved, I love Jamaica. Yeah, I love living here. Yeah, and I say it as just as that statement said. It's not so much what is wrong with that we can't fix. We can fix it.
Of course we can.
We can fix it.
We can.
It and it's us. We're causing the problem. So if we look within ourselves and, just kind of get the education we need, get the mental help, get the help that we need. Because a lot of this is stemming from mental illness. Yeah. But Jamaica is beautiful, and we need to pour more love and nurture this baby that we live here. It's such a beautiful place.
It is.
Patrick, it is beautiful here.
I'm from Mobay. You don't have to tell me how pretty Jamaica
is. Mobay is.
My pretty is pretty.
Yeah. And it's so country is so different. Mobay is so different from, even though it is the second city. Yeah, but it's so different from Kingston. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Little Tea. Look here now, guys. I want to open this package so badly, but this is a gift for you, Bridge Nation or Ari Jam fam. 5515782. Did you talk about the 2 teas that were your bestsellers?
They're actually Okay, so my best-selling teas are Jamaican Breakfast and Mahobe, which I
she gave you all the answers. She gave me the answers. Now, quick fire, 5515782, 5515782. Name the 2 teas that are her top sellers. 5515782, 5515782, 6764996. And just talk to us about the subscription. I am joining right away. Let us know about the subscription box.
So the subscription box is $20 US every single month, 3 brand new teas to your doorstep. And if you want to purchase the teas on their own, you can purchase them online, or you can go to the Courthouse Gallery in Ocho Rios, Main Street in Montego Bay. You can go to My Jamaica store in Ligani, Food and Drink Kitchen, that's in Barbican. You can go to the Life Store, that's in the new Super Valley Town Center. So if you want, I'm gonna be having a lot of pop-ups and things in Jamaica and in New York. So follow me on Instagram at Little Tea, Twitter, Facebook, we're everywhere.
All the things. All right, Little T, we're getting our subscriptions. We're upping our tea experience. We no longer want the trash that they're selling us in the bags because Patrick opened our eyes this morning. We don't know what in there, but we want our premium tea, right? All right, and April 27th, we're all gonna head over to Julie Mango because we want to have the tea flight experience. Patrick, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Sam.
And nobody, if you want to know Carla, no, Marco, put the phone down, because this is mine. We're gonna jump to a quick break. When we come back, more right here on Chasing Purpose. So we're gonna get into our next segment, and today we have a special guest, Chesand Gregory, who is an author, educator, model, singer, and mompreneur. Chesand is a multi-talented, resourceful, and naturally charismatic teacher, wife of a scientist, and mother of 2 energetic boys, the Jag brothers. Chesand is passionate about writing stories that foster children's growth and development while promoting diversity and inclusivity. Her first book, Did Santa Wear a Mask?, A Christmas Adventure with the Jag Brothers, won the prestigious Mom Choice Gold Award as well as the Parent-Tested Parent Approved Award. She is also a lifestyle model who depicted Melody's mother in the American Girl Doll Company's book, Melody, No Ordinary Sound. Singing has been another one of her passions since she has been 4 years old. Now, I just said a whole lot. Chesand Gregory, welcome to Chasing Purpose. You are joining me via Zoom, and you are a whole vision. I love the lime earrings, complemented with the blue scarf. Chesand, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you.
You pronounce my name beautifully, so thank you.
Chesand, I have one of my best friends. Her middle name is Chesonia, so I am familiar with the beginning of the name, and I call her Chessie. I'm not sure what your nickname is, but when I saw your name, I'm like, oh my God, it's another Chessie in my life. So hi, Chesand, how are you? Yeah, see?
I'm good, and I'm also Chessie, so you have another soul sister here.
I love this. Okay, and I just want to tell you that Cavell said you look good. Cavell said that she's seeing you and that you look good. All right, Chesand.
You, Cavell. Okay.
Chesand, talk to me about. I want to know about Santa wearing a mask. I want to know about your journey, the awards that you've been winning, you leading a legacy of purpose, and what does it look like for your children and empowering the future generations. Do you believe that you're currently living in your purpose?
First and foremost, I feel honored that I can be here to speak on that topic. Chasing your purpose has definitely been something that has been inside of me from day one, to go after the things that I desire. So yes, I feel that I am walking in that path, and my mom is no longer here, but I feel like she'd be happy that I'm chasing my purpose and not giving up, regardless of the speed bumps that I may face along the way.
And as you talk about the speed bumps, they are inevitable. How do you navigate, or how have you navigated your speed bumps?
I have tapped into my intuitive self. That's something I had to spend a lot of time on, to reflect when those come up and try to go over those hurdles. So my natural way of going over some of those hurdles is to find myself with music as a natural way of stimulating myself and my joy to find that passion again, regardless of the situations I come across.
Can you share your definition of legacy and the importance in today's world?
Sure. My definition of legacy, I can quote this phrase that I saw some time ago, and it's like leaving a footprint in the sands of time. And when I think of legacy, I feel like that's an embodiment of what legacy means, that you don't have to see it, but it's printed there for many generations to come. And that's what I want to be able to do, especially coming from Jamaica with such beautiful, beautiful sand and my name, Chesand. I feel like that's something legacy means to me, to continue to embody that and to leave those marks with my own work, my books, my singing, my creativity in the sands of time.
I love that explanation. It's absolutely beautiful. As you talk about your upbringing, how has your upbringing and your heritage impacted your success today?
I didn't realize that my culture would have been so deeply rooted in me, especially becoming an adult. And from a young age, I've always been a part of different pageants, and the most recent one was Jamaica Festival Queen. I was a part
Okay.
of Manchester Festival Queen, so I was the runner-up with my dear friend Victoria
Nice.
Cole. We have become really, really close and have been inseparable since. So that's what I feel like for me. Culture has played a lot in my life, and having my own children, they have been able to help me to go back to that place of showcasing diversity, especially being Canada, and embodying my rich Jamaican culture. Top the pot in it ready,
Yeah.
incorporating it into my work, showcasing it with my family, and just becoming ambassadors for Jamaica. So Jamaica means so much to me and my work and the legacy that I can leave beyond.
Can you tell us, did you have any mentors growing up, and how did they shape who you are today?
My first mentor I can think of is my mom. I can share that I didn't have the typical mom and daughter kind of struggles. She was able to walk the path. She was able to model that behavior for me, and without even speaking it. And I was able to understand that children model behavior that they see without
yes.
even you being
Oh,
aware.
yes.
So my mom really, really shaped that in me. She spoke a certain way, and naturally I realized that as I'm growing older, I'm becoming my mom. I'm doing the things that she's doing, and I just want to continue to bring that to the forefront of my work, being a mom and having all these different accomplishments. My mom was the main individual. I've also had teachers who have played a significant role in my life. I have had my grade 5 or 6 teacher. We're still close. She has played a huge role in my life and reminding me, don't yell. She would always tell me, don't yell. She would always, kind of keep me in line, shaping me, molding me that this is how a young lady should behave. So she was really a part of that structure, how I present myself, how I speak, how do I communicate. And her name is Trisha Anderson. I decided when I couldn't find her over the years, I would make her my son's godmother, so she would never, never depart from me. So she's with me for life. So she was one of those individuals, and so many amazing other women that I've come across. I've decided to keep them very close to me, reach out to them however I can, and keep them a part of my growth and some of my achievements. I try to bring them in.
You said something that I wanted to kind of expound on, your mother being your first mentor and how you emulated what she showed you. And it's important as mothers out there, or persons that are rearing children, that that even though you may not think, because there are maybe small children or they're not saying, children pick up on your emotions, they pick on they observe what you do, and they will emulate. So you want to ensure that you are putting your best foot forward, especially as we're talking today about leaving a legacy. You want to make sure that you're creating a positive environment. You're always speaking positively around them, and it may not happen all the time. There's times that you're going to get upset, so on and so forth, but as Chesand says, just make sure that you are being your best self, and and knowing that you are going to be you're role modeling for someone. You may not realize it, but you are role modeling for someone. Chesand, what inspired you to become an author and an educator, and how have you integrated your passions into your work?
My family has been the inspiration behind this work, from my husband, my children, and my mother-in-law, which is a unique story of my mother-in-law becoming my mom. Even though my real mom isn't around, they have all pulled in together. We have all pulled in creating that first book. And it's all started with my younger son when he was around 4 years old. During the start of the pandemic, he said to me, "Mommy, will Santa wear a mask?"
Wow.
And it really struck me that he asked that question. And my husband has a science background, so I reached out to him. I said, "What do you think I should do?" And he said, "Well, you've always won all these awards, teaching awards. Why not be creative?" And I've always wanted to do something for the community. I've always realized that moms are looking for strategies. How do you teach your kids to read? How do you do this? And I thought, why not create something? So in the height of the pandemic, instead of doing that project, I was able to start another passion project with just one question. And it's so amazing how children just spark some of those interesting questions,
Yes.
which I believe that we need to really listen to them.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes it may sound, we're busy, or it may sound annoying or something, but during the pandemic, it really allowed me to spend the time with my family, for us to bond and spend those quality time to actually listen to that question, which really drove so much of my achievements today, thankfully to my children, the Jag brothers, Jaylee and Jax, because this wouldn't have been possible without them, and my husband spending countless nights with me to actually go through this. So I call him my OG. His first initial is O and G, so he's really he's
your OG. He really is. And it sounds like it took a village, and that's so important when you have good people around you to nurture those relationships and really acknowledge them and celebrate those relationships, because there are a lot of us out here that don't have that champion behind them, that don't have the cheerleading squad behind them. So that's awesome that you do. We're gonna jump to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more right here on Chasing Purpose. Leading a legacy of purpose, empowering future generations through positive action. We are joined by Chesand Gregory, who before the break was talking about her award-winning book, Did Santa Wear a Mask? So Chesand, I'm going to ask you, I know you said your son planted the seed, but take us through the writing process and tell us about the book.
First and foremost, I have two books.
Ooh.
Did Santa Wear a Mask is the first one, and the new one that won the best-selling award is Birthday Wish.
Oh,
so
nice.
I will talk you through the process
Please.
of Did Santa Wear a Mask, and then we can dive into Birthday Wish. And for Did Santa Wear a Mask, the writing process came through many stages as I put together the pieces, the layers that I wanted. But one of the most important pieces that I wanted to have in this story is to enlighten that children can showcase their gifts and talents, and all children have their own unique ways of doing things. So I wanted to showcase that with images that look like real people. I am also a teacher, so with that I wanted to incorporate the creativity so that there's almost like real life pictures of my family, other families, children can see themselves in it, not so much the cartoon version. So I wanted to kind of change the status quo with how do we put our storytelling together. So with that, I was able to incorporate also Amazon in the story, not just publishing it on Amazon, but I thought this is such an important story, and I want that when any child or a grandma or a mom would like to tell the story of what happened years ago, or for myself, telling my grandkids, how can I share this story in a fun way? Because we all went through that process where it was traumatic, it was sad, it was, all those layers of bringing in all different layers of depression. So I wanted to make sure that this book would have something significant about it. So Amazon was a part of this story. I was told by my publisher that Amazon may not want to be a part of this story. And it really made me go really deep in myself to say, yes, I can. And my husband told me, why not just reach out to them? And we eventually did reach out to them, simple email. Sometimes that's all it takes, right? So we were able to reach out, and within a couple weeks, Amazon were able to receive feedback from an assistant of Jeff Bezos that shared, would love to speak with you. And I wasn't sure if this is a yes or a no, but I was confident. I had my hopes up. I was trying to stay positive, and I was on the film set with my son, with my older son, and I got an email, and that was when I realized, okay, maybe something good is coming up.
Right.
So we were able to make the connection, a phone call within the next week. And while I was on the call, I was able to not share about myself, but somebody sharing that we've seen all the good work that you've been doing, and we want to be a part of this project. We love what you've been doing. And they saw everything with my projects from Jamaica, going in the hospitals with the start of my first company, JHS Designs, and just speaking to moms about breastfeeding. I studied nutrition in Jamaica, so I was able to bring some of that and share with my breastfeeding covers and support moms to love and bond with their babies. So supporting moms has been a huge part of my life, and seeing how my mom was able to support me. So that's kind of how I kind of interject all the layers into my book. And Amazon, my family, the Jag brothers was also another piece that my boys do have the same initials, JAG. So I've always called them the Jag brothers. So what we're able to do is, why not allow the Jag brothers to become superheroes and actually help to save Christmas, but with a twist. Not the typical, but we also wanted to make sure Santa was staying safe. He's old, and we want to take care of our elders, not just ourselves. So I wanted to bring in some layers in reciprocity, not just looking out for ourselves. And I also know that children help to stimulate those hormones for grandparents, the love and connection, and vice versa. So I wanted the Jag brothers to kind of do that for Santa, and to see my boys doing that with their grandma, their grandparents, my dad. It meant a lot to me to showcase that, the connection, the teamwork. So I was able to embed that in the story, bring the Jag brothers to life, but not just any superheroes. They're Jamaican superheroes.
I love it.
With their own costumes. So my Jamaican culture was coming out without even me being aware.
Wow.
Because from day one, when my younger baby was born and started to share his favorite color, it became yellow. And he would say yellow, and my older son loved green and orange, and I started to kind of go deep and analyze those colors as they got older. And my older son drew a cape, and half was green and half was yellow, and in the back there was a big J, half green, half yellow. And he said, "Mommy," and he said to me, "Mommy, can you sew it?" But I was still nursing a young baby, and it was just too hard for me. So I reached out to my other half, my mother-in-law, can you help me? And she's really good at sewing. She designed my wedding dress. We worked together on my wedding and everything. So I was able to ask her, can we do this together? Can you help me? She's back in Jamaica. I took a picture. Thank goodness for technology. Took a picture of it, and she was able to draw it. We figured out the size, the height of the boys, everything. So those costumes, the cape was something that they eventually had over the years. And we decided, why not embed this in the story creatively? And with my passion for sewing, I also was able to get back into something I love and design their actual costume.
Wow.
So that was something I was able to do. And being in the film industry, I was able to reach out to some amazing designers that I've worked with, done my measurements and all for, and they were able to assist me with creating the Jag Brothers costume.
Oh, I love
and
this.
Thank you. And the natural color with the green and the yellow, the natural color to kind of bring everything together was black.
Yes.
And
so the flag,
and
that's your heritage playing a part throughout. I love this.
Exactly. It was all coming together, that what is for you is for you.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just have to allow that to just takes its course, because we don't always see what's really ahead of us. But as I was going with the boys, I was realizing a lot of this was coming out. My love for Jamaica, my family, all of that was coming out with the project. And I was able to also design a face mask to go with that.
Oh, wow.
To actually support. And that was in the story. And I thought, I've always wanted to bring back a piece of my business, especially traveling from Jamaica, immigrating to Canada. It was a bit of challenge for me to settle and start all over again. So this was something that I decided, why not put my passion to purpose and create the face mask and bring it to life. So that has been a product that I've been able to share to empower children with a coloring cape as well. So it goes on, but that's some of the layers, how I was able to write my story, going through the hoops of getting the nose. Your Amazon won't be able to support you from just having that to people who have been supporting me, like my family and the designer helping us with our cape and our illustrator who was able to really bring that real life situation into the story and telling it
It really
creatively.
takes it takes a village. It takes a village. You're not meant to live this life alone. You are not meant to do your entrepreneurship alone. You're not meant to pursue your aspirations alone. Get a great team around you, and it sounds like, Chesand, you had a great team. Can you imagine if you didn't pursue the Amazon email? Can you imagine if you thought, well, if somebody said they're gonna say no, let me just stop. And thank God that you did. Thank God that you just kind of said, you know what, let me follow my mind and just do this, and look where it has got you. Let me ask you, how do you hope your work will inspire others to lead a legacy of purpose?
I truly hope that my work will be able to touch so many lives, much more than I even can imagine. That's why I've been able to create not just books, but also a community initiative that can drive that change. Through my books, Birthday Wish is also a piece of that, that my work can support children who love to read, but also an initiative to support families, because I've realized that as an author, I can touch the lives of children, educators, that piece. But I also realize that I need to be able to touch the others that raise these children, whether it's different institutions, the school or church, different communities, the government level. I realize that there is a missing piece. I'm supporting children, but we need justice for them. And how can I do that without supporting the ones raising our children, the families? And I realized that this is something that I need to nurture. So I'm hoping that with my initiative, now called Conscious Me, can support that legacy piece with not just books, but also a space to connect, to build those relationships that can support a sustainable future.
And that's what our kids need. They need a sustainable future. So thank you for that. What advice would you give to those who want to make a positive impact and leave a legacy for the future?
I would honestly say tap into your intuitive self, whatever is in your gut feeling, bring that out, find a community, find people who can support you in however you can. I find that if I'm able to find those people, then it makes life a lot easier. And community building is a huge portion for me, a huge core value that I believe that every woman, every family, every man should find, every child. And it all starts from humble beginnings, just incorporating that into what you're doing. Don't leave anything behind, utilizing your own rich backgrounds into your life. And I believe that is something that I've been able to model and want others to also follow through for themselves, not allowing what you're not good at to become the forefront, but to rise with their strengths. And I love to look at a diamond. And my husband always share with me, you know, you're like a diamond, you know, different facets get to shine. So I'm able to understand that I'm a diamond. I've been able to understand that, believe in it, not allowing others to tell me that, but understanding that for myself, that I can be able to, I can sing, I can model when I'm ready, I can showcase that in different areas. As an author, I can go to a school assembly. I can also speak to them as an educator. I can also showcase to girls how to be strong and confident. And I can also show them different dimensions that they can sing and pursue that. So that is my piece of advice.
And you know, as you talk, you're multi-talented, but we really all are. We all are we have so much different gifts and talents within us, and it is just for us to unearth these talents. And you'll never know how much of a blessing unearthing these talents and showcasing these talents are, especially if you talk about community building, right? If you are good at just pouring positivity into persons, go into the community and do that. If you are good at being a handy person, go into the community and do just that. If you're great at writing, like Chesand, write a story. Write a story. Look, her son asked the question, is Santa going to wear a mask? Which, yeah, sounds about, it's a valid question. Will he? We're all in this mask wearing pandemic thing. Will Santa wear a mask? It's around Christmas time. He's on his way. And look, a book was birthed out of it. 2 books. And 2 Jamaican superheroes, guys. What talent do you have right now that you are sitting on? What talent do you have that is just kind of building up in you, that is setting your soul on fire, that you want to unearth? What is that talent? So Chesand here, she's followed her talent. She's followed the seeds that were planted. She's nurtured them, and she has birthed something absolutely amazing. Chesand, how do you believe storytelling and education can play a role in empowering our future generations?
I believe that this is such a unique area that we can utilize it creatively. And being innovative is one of my strengths. So I realized that we can incorporate different pedagogies. And one of my main pedagogy that I incorporate ideology in my work is culture. And I believe that if we incorporate culture, which is a dominant one today, especially being in Canada, incorporating this in the story can actually change how children, students feel about themselves, where they're from, and bringing that to the forefront. So that's a huge piece, how we can actually shape the future. If we nurture our students or children with that, to love and embody it, like I'm doing with the Jag Brothers, they always want to showcase that. So I believe that if we're able to incorporate that in our teaching and learning process, then it allows students to feel empowered. And it also gives educators a space to also bring those different elements of culture into the classroom.
For teachers who are frustrated for whatever reason, whether it be here or overseas, maybe they're not getting the support that they need from the administration, but they have this passion, they want to keep going, What advice would you give them?
I honestly would say go with your gut feeling, because whatever you desire and you have that creativity, bring that to life and target different learners. I find that's the easy way of angling the frustration, because sometimes as educators, we're only catering to one style of learner. But if we're able to channel that to different style of learners, then it allows the process to be a lot easier. So with the creativity or thoughts and ideas, if we're able to bring that different elements with music, drama, all of those, then it allows the classroom environment to feel a lot less stressed, and students can also feel connected with the teacher, and the school system can also see that there is growth in a classroom. So I think it's all connected with how we really poise ourselves for success with our students, with admin, and that's something that I've been able to tap into and have really good connections, not just with educators or principals that I've worked with, but across many different school boards, especially in Canada, and still connected with Jamaica. And it's just embodying that and standing strong for what you believe in.
I love that you talk about target different learners. And I want you to explain just a little bit about that. We do not all learn the same way. We all have different learning styles. So explain to us about that.
So what it means to target different learners, I've understood from my own children point of view, is that they have different gifts and talents. And if I'm able to incorporate this, or other teachers or incorporate this, then it allows them to get that space to advocate. And I believe that in the school system, different learners may gravitate towards music, and this would make the learning process a lot easier because they can actually connect with that. And I can give you an example in my teaching practice. I still remember this. I was teaching breakfast in Jamaica, a girls' school in Manchester, and I was teaching them, and I taught, as I was going through, we did this song, Breakfast. Me tell my friends, say, remember healthy breakfast and don't forget. And I never forgot, that song. And it's actually something that the students were able to make up, but I still remember the lyrics for that.
Yeah.
And it allowed the students to actually connect with it. Like, it's a healthy thing, you must have it first.
Yeah.
So I believe that music can actually get the students excited.
Oh,
and
yes.
in my engagements as an author, I also incorporate that, and I realize that they actually love this. And for some, it might be very high flown with just text. So we want to kind of break it up to get them to do activities. And we do have active listeners who may not want to, share their thoughts and ideas. raising their hands. So how can we incorporate them? Allow them to come to the front, demonstrate, hold something, mark on something. So we're tapping into that, opening the space for all learners to be a part and not excluding them. So that's a space that I think that we really need to revisit. And I've been very mindful of that and want to be able to change the trajectory of how the teaching and learning process happen in the classroom by first supporting different students. And that stood out for me a lot when I realized my older son loves science, and that comes from daddy as a scientist, and he's also very creative, but the school system hasn't been able to support him at 1st with those needs and wants, and not supporting his strengths. It was always the negative. You need to do this, you need to do that, right?
I'm so happy that you touched on that. I want you to hold that thought. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Chesand Gregory. And we are back. We are talking about leading a legacy of purpose and empowering future generations through positive action. And I am on with award-winning author Chesand Gregory. We're talking about educating our youth and targeting the different learners. And I have this question to ask you, Chesand. How can we teach our children about the importance of leading and leaving a positive legacy?
I believe that we can definitely support our children to understand what it first means to leave a legacy. And that is defining it in a creative way for them. If they're not able to break that down, then it's effortless. It's not going to work out. So that's the first step that I would take, is to define it with them, brainstorm for them to understand that it's important, and their connection to the earth and how they also contribute to the sustainable future that we're all looking for. And it's just shaping it with their own thoughts and ideas to actually stimulate those responses that we want to see and the change. So for me to break that down to a young child is to understand, advocate, is also necessary for them to share what they like. How can they make that as something that they can actually develop? And for my children, I've been able to showcase with them what they like to do. How can we incorporate this? And my children love reading, so we have been able to incorporate that reading and making literacy something that every child can actually be a part of and love as everyday superheroes. So that's something, leaving that legacy and supporting children to actually understand that they can actually leave that legacy for their peers to see them doing it and to take action. Because I think every child love to copy. They're like copycats. And if they can actually embody that, do it, practice it every day, then their peers naturally will want to do it. So leaving that legacy is for them to understand what they're good at, how can they continue to do it for their peers to follow, and that's sustainability.
Very important points. How do you think the current social and political climate affects the way we view and approach legacy?
I think that's an interesting area because I've come across so many studies. One of the main one I've been reading about is Justice for Children by Albanese, and showcasing how media, the social ideologies, how those have shaped how we have our youngsters in the education system, how they're in the criminal justice system. And that has shaped a lot how we actually support children. And that's an area that I realize we need more support for them. We need more resources. We need to be able to tap into their gifts and talents, not putting them down. We need to be creative with how we teach them in the classroom, because they tend to get bored. And oftentimes as they get older, they're not going to school anymore. So how can we keep them in there, keep them grounded, keep them mindful, and making sure that they can rise for success? It's all about supporting them and putting them up for success for later. And I believe that is something that politically we need to look at it from that bird's eye view as well. We need to shake up our political system. That's an institution that needs some work. And I've been able to see from an educator point of view, how can I help with that, with the education institution, to kind of eventually support the political aspect in supporting children, because they were never asked to be here. So how can we really shape that? And a lot of it comes to consumerism. A lot of the media, all of that has been out there. It's all about power, but not about our youth. So how can we, we all need power, we all need money. How can we still look out for them as we're rising? And I think a lot of the commercials, a lot of the things that have been out there, it's all about generating wealth and not looking out for youth. So I'm so mindful of that and want to be able to make that change. So I've been able to showcase a little bit about what I can do at the individual level to showcase content from my page on Instagram, that we can actually put out content to support our youth. And I've been able to go into schools and showcase to youths that what you're doing, wherever you show up, whatever platform it is, tap into showcasing your creativity. Be mindful of others that are watching your profile, your whatever you're posting, your content. Be mindful and walk away. Try not to get absorbed into dominant culture of A is doing, this person is doing, I need to do this too. Reach out to do what you want, because even though politically there's certain things in place, there are things that we can also do from the individual level, which is protecting ourselves, the content that we put out, and empowering others. So I've been ensuring my content can reflect that. So whenever somebody goes over, or whatever content it is, it's always about lifting others up. It's always about being a cheerleader. I've been a cheerleader too in my school. So it's all about that, embodying it and bringing that to light and making sure our youth can also see that. So I've been able to take snippets off my social media page where I've been seeing on media, and how can they also tap into that and showcase it in a creative way.
Supporting our children, supporting the children. That's why I kept hearing over and over you saying supporting the children, ensuring that our children have a voice. If you do need to maybe discipline them, explain to them why they are being disciplined, and instill proper values into your children. Again, they mimic what they see. Right. And we're talking about legacy. We're talking about not just what we're doing right now, but when we leave this earth, what legacy are we leaving for our children? It is in what we're doing right now. What we're doing right now today, what our actions are, how we handle ourselves day to day, how we show up in our communities, how we show up for ourselves, how we show up in the household. This is where the legacy is being built from. So Chesand, I thank you for it. Really has been breathtaking just listening to you, refreshing, I should say, just listening to you and the love that you have for education and the positive impact that you are having on your community. So I want to ask, how do you see your own legacy evolving and continuing to impact future generations positively?
I see it's constantly evolving every single day in front of me. I'm just blown away. I'm very strong with my faith, and God has been so good to me.
Awesome.
There's always something amazing that's coming up with just interaction with my kids, those who I get to meet. I ensure to incorporate those thoughts and ideas from my community in building that dream legacy. So it's not just about me as well. It's just something that means a lot to me to actually get those voices heard. So I'm very passionate about making sure that all voices are heard in my work and leaving that footprint in the sands of time and creating that space, especially through Conscious Me, which is an initiative I'm officially launching.
Yes, tell us
June
about that.
25th. Oh, sure. Absolutely. I've been going around in schools as a pilot project, and this has been going really well. I just got in from an assembly as well. So I was able to showcase that and want to be able to bring this to the forefront, connecting like-minded women, making that change and supporting health and wellness. And I realized that women actually need that support system.
Oh, yes.
So much research that I've seen showcase that women's health has been deteriorating, and we are in the forefront of supporting everybody. And our health has been depleting, but we want to rise and do good in our community, do good for ourselves and others. But we have been giving. It's like the giving tree. So I want to be able to support women from all walks of life and tap into all the community leaders that have supported me and bring that to the forefront. So this is an event called Conscious Me, Live Better, bringing that sisterhood as the main piece to support women and thriving, because we need to support ourselves before we can even support anybody else or children or work.
That is a fact.
So I'm bringing some light with a revolutionary way of doing things and incorporating some great ways, not just for ourselves, but for the future generation. So a lot of the content is on my website, Chesand Gregory // conscious me. So most of the content for conscious me can be found there, and what I'm doing in the community, how I've been doing that, incorporating different stakeholders. Jamaica Tourist Board has been a phenomenal one in supporting me with especially my recent book, Birthday Wish.
Awesome.
So they have been a stakeholder with my project, and it's just incorporating that, and so many other leaders who have been supporting me. We have some amazing speakers as well lined up, all focused on rebuilding and reshaping that sustainable future. So I'm super excited. I have an amazing team, which we first started speaking about. We do this with a team. So
you cannot do this alone. You need a good team. Yeah. So Chesand, there's a young lady right now that may not feel supported, may not have the amazing community that you have behind you. She may not have a friend to pour into, someone to relax or relate with. She just needs that advice. She just needs that push. She needs someone to say, look, you are seen, you are heard, and you are supported. Give that woman some advice.
I would advise her to reach out to those community angels that have been there, to hug and to support, share those thoughts and ideas, and not give up, because alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So that's my main piece of advice, that even if we don't see a way, there's always someone. If we have the access to technology like now, make use of it. Reach out to someone, and the worst you can hear, my husband always remind me, is no. And I've been able to tap into that a lot, because fear was a huge portion for me. So I would share with anybody listening, don't let fear take over. And the moment you're able to step out of that box, then you are at that peak, almost like a mountain, just embodying everything that you want to do. It's like all coming clear the moment you can step out of fear and rising.
That fear is holding a lot of us back, and as you said, the moment that you realize that you can move past that fear, and it is just that's holding you back, you will reach that mountaintop. It's a freedom, actually, that a freedom that you wouldn't even you can't even imagine right now that you're going to feel. It's a peace of mind. So as Chesand says, let go of that fear, and it sounds easier said than done. However, once you reach there, and as she says, reach out to your community angels. They are there. You do not have to do this alone. You are not alone in anything that you do. As Chesand says, you can reach out to her. You can reach out to us here at the bridge. You can reach out to Chasing Purpose page. There's so much persons, your neighborhood, your community church, whatever community center you have around you. You are not alone. You are not meant to live this life alone. Chesand, can you tell us about, besides Conscious Me, any other new exciting projects you have coming up, and also share where our listeners and viewers can find you?
That's the main one for now. Conscious Me is my passion project that I'm working on, and just incorporating different stakeholders to be on board for this initiative and supporting women with their health and wellness. So that's the goal right now, is to get this across as many platforms as possible, and to bring this back to Jamaica. I definitely want to bring Conscious Me back to Jamaica.
Yes.
Supporting youth, supporting women, supporting moms, because we have been drained, and I realize that we need to find out creative ways and resources to support women. And I have those nuggets that I've been super excited that I'm learning and embodying and can share, because I've seen that they have been working for me and supporting my family, how we have been connecting, and just also building the confidence in the children so that they can shape the future that we're looking for. So I'm here for anyone that's looking to reach out, to connect with me, whether it's for Conscious Me or to just reach self-actualization. We may have all our needs met, our basic needs, but we still want to get there to do big things, like go hard or go home kind of feeling. So I'm here. It wasn't easy for me moving from Jamaica in 2014 to now, but I've been able to connect, and those support systems have supported me, and realize that I'm here to make a difference. So they have been supporting me. So if you're true to what you believe in and you are transparent, then your community will definitely love what you're doing.
Oh yes. And your community will find you. Your community will find you. Chesand Gregory, Thank you for being a light in this world. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to welcome you back home with Conscious Me. Please stop by the bridge when you are back here on home soil. And thank you for being a part of Chasing Purpose.
Thank you so much for having me, Syntyche. It's a pleasure to speak on my project and what I've been up to.
Yes, thank you. That was Chesand Gregory. Remember, she's Chesand Gregory / I believe she said Conscious Me. Just Google that name. And as she said, we all need support. We all need support. We all need that push. We all need that champion behind us. We all need that person that's going to hold us accountable. Find your community. You are not alone. That's why this show was created, so that we can share stories like this. Chesand, she's in Canada. She did make mention that she has struggled with fear. It was not easy for her to migrate to Canada. It wasn't an easy road, but she found her footing. All you have to do is find your footing. That self-actualization is like freedom. It is a peace of mind, but you do not have to do it alone. Someone is there for you. I am here for you. We all are here for you. All you have to do is reach out. The worst anybody could ever tell you is no. And if that person tells you no, I promise you your yes is waiting. It is just right around the corner. So please do not give up. Reach out when you are feeling at your lowest, when you are even feeling at your highest. Reach out. Someone is here for you. Thank you for joining us today. As always, wishing you love, light, and of course, purpose. Until next time.